Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Be sure to subscribe to our channel. We publish new videos every day. Don't forget, grab your smartphone and download the Lava Matra app and stay in touch. Guru Maharaj's message is your advantage. The following is a Sri Krishna Caitanya Book compilation given by His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj on October 10th, 2020 in Sri Mayapur, India.
Makakavartivacharam Pangulangayategayam Yatithātamahan Vande Sri Gurum Ninasarinam Paramanandamādhavam Sri Chaitanya Ishram Hare Om Tat Sat. Govardhanam Vande
Govardhanam Daram Vande
Gopala Goparupinam
Gopalam Goparupinam
Gokulotsava Ishanam
Gokulotsavamishanam
Govinda Gopika Priyam.
Govindam Gopika Priyam.
Today we continue with the Chaitanya Lila, Krishna Caitanya Lila book compilation.
So today we will continue with the Chaitanya Lila Krishna Caitanya Book compilation.
The chapter is entitled
The chapter is entitled as Sankirtan in the House of Advaita Acharya.
a very large chapter, probably take 2 days.
So it is a very large chapter. It probably will take 2 days. So from Murari Gupta Katcha 3.4.23. After resting the night there, he rose towards its end, and dancing with his people, he sang the verses about Krishna in sweet melodies.
চৈতন্য চরিতামৃত স্থানীয় লোকের প্রভু দর্শনে আগমন শান্তিপুরের লোক শুনি প্রভুর আগমন দেখিতে আইলা লোক প্রভুর চরণ.
When the people of Shantipur heard that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was staying there, they all immediately came to see his lotus feet.
চতুর্দিকে হরিধ্বনি ও প্রভুর রূপ দর্শনে আনন্দ. হরি হরি বলে লোক আনন্দিত হইয়া চমৎকার পাইল প্রভুর সৌন্দর্য দেখিয়া.
Being very pleased, all the people loudly began to shout the holy name of the Lord, Hari Hari. Indeed, they became struck with wonder upon seeing the beauty of the Lord.
Everyone was overwhelmed to see the beauty of the Lord.
So everyone was overwhelmed to see the beauty of the Lord.
This is the perfection of life, to be able to be part of the Lord's pastime.
This is the perfection of life, to be able to be a part of the Lord's pastime.
The people of Shantipur were so blessed they could see the Lord.
These people of Shantipur, they were so blessed that they could see the Lord.
And thus, they spontaneously were chanting the holy name of Hari.
Thus, they were spontaneously chanting the holy name of Hari.
Hari Bol!
Hari Bol!
Hari Bol!
Hari Bol!
গৌর দেহ কান্তি সূর্য জিনিয়া উজ্জ্বল অরুণ বস্ত্র কান্তি তাহে করে ঝলমল.
They saw Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's very fair complexioned body, and its bright luster, which conquered the brilliance of the sun. Over and above this was the beauty of the saffron garments that glittered upon his body.
Taking sannyas meant that he wore saffron cloth.
Taking sannyas, one generally wore saffron cloth.
No, meant that he wore.
That he wore meant that he wore saffron cloth.
And what his bodily luster was such that it was more brilliant than millions of suns.
His bodily luster was such, it was more than million and billions of suns.
সমস্ত দিনব্যাপী লোকের যাতায়াত আইসে যায় লো হর্ষে নাহি সমাধান লোকের সংঘট্টে দিন হইল অবসান
People came and went with great pleasure. There was no calculating how many people assembled there before the day was over.
In the day when we have once a year a prasad distribution on the Govinda Dwadasi.
Even on the day once in a year where we have the prasada distribution on the Govinda Dwadasi,
Celebrating the disappearance day of Madhavendra Puri,
on the disappearance day of Madhavendra Puri,
who was the Diksha Guru of Advaita Goswami.
who was the Diksha Guru of Advaita Goswami.
So many people from Shantipur assemble.
So many people from Shantipur assemble.
They come and go, and no calculating how many people come.
They come and go, there is no calculation how many people comes.
সন্ধ্যায় অদ্বৈতের সংকীর্তন সন্ধ্যাতে আচার্য আরম্ভিল সংকীর্তন আচার্য নাচেন প্রভু করেন দর্শন
As soon as it was evening, Advaita Acharya began the congregational chanting. He even began to dance himself, and the Lord saw the performance.
The Advaita Acharya was a very wonderful dancer,
Advaita Acharya was a very wonderful dancer,
and the Sankirtan started with his dancing.
and the Sankirtan started with his dancing.
নিত্যানন্দ গোসাই বলে আচার্য ধরিয়া হরিদাস পাছে নাচে হরষিত হইয়া
When Advaita Acharya began to dance, Nityananda Prabhu began dancing behind him. Haridas Thakur, being very pleased, also began dancing behind him.
So we see that Lord Nityananda and Haridas Thakur, they also began to dance.
So we see that Lord Nityananda and also Haridas Thakur, they also began to dance.
Advaita Goswami was dancing behind him, Lord Nityananda, and behind him Haridas Thakur.
So Advaita Gosai was dancing, behind him it was Lord Nityananda, and behind him was Haridas Thakur.
ততাহি পদ কি কহিব রে সখী আজক আনন্দ চিরদিনে মাধব মন্দিরে মোর
Advaita Acharya said, "My dear friends, what shall I say? Today I have received the highest transcendental pleasure. After many days, Lord Krishna is in my house." Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. This is a song composed by Vidyapati. Sometimes the word Madhava is misunderstood to refer Madhavendra Puri. Advaita Acharya was a disciple of Madhavendra Puri, and consequently, some people think that he was referring to Madhavendra Puri by using the word Madhava. But actually, this is not the fact. This song was composed to commemorate the separation of Krishna from Radharani during Krishna's absence in Mathura. It is thought that this song was sung by Srimati Radharani when Krishna returned. It is technically called Mathura Viraha.
Although Advaita had fasted and cried and chanted loudly the name,
So
worshipped the Shalgam Srila.
So Advaita had fasted, cried, and chanted loudly and worshipped the Shaligram Shila.
Like Krishna would appear.
That Krishna would appear.
Now, Krishna appeared as Lord Chaitanya
Now Krishna appeared as Lord Chaitanya,
and was dancing and staying in Advaita's house.
and he was dancing and staying in Advaita's house.
And therefore, Advaita chose this song to celebrate Krishna staying in his house.
So therefore Advaita chose this song to celebrate Krishna staying at his home.
এই পদ গাইয়া হর্ষে করেন নর্তন সেদ কম্প পুলকাশ্রু হুঙ্কার গর্জন.
Advaita Acharya led the Sankirtan party, and with great pleasure he sang this verse. There was a manifestation of ecstatic perspiration, shivering, raised hair, tears in the eyes, and sometimes thundering and bellowing.
Advaita Acharya was manifesting all these ecstatic symptoms.
Advaita Acharya was manifesting all these ecstatic symptoms.
অদ্বৈতের প্রভুর নিকট সবিনয় প্রার্থনা ফিরি ফিরি কভু প্রভুর ধরেন চরণ চরণ ধরিয়া প্রভুরে বলেন বচন.
While dancing, Advaita Acharya would sometimes turn around and catch the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Advaita Acharya would then speak to him as follows.
অনেক দিন তুমি মোরে বেড়াইলে ভাঙ্গিয়া ঘরেতে পাইয়াছি এবে রাখিব বাঁধিয়া.
Sri Advaita Acharya would say, "Many days you escaped me by bluffing. Now I have you in my home, and I will keep you bound up."
এত বলি আনন্দে আচার্য করেন নর্তন পহরেক রাত্রি আচার্য কইল সংকীর্তন.
So speaking, Advaita Acharya performed congregational chanting with great pleasure for 3 hours that night and danced all the time.
So 3 hours were spent in a Sankirtan.
So 3 hours were spent in the Sankirtan.
Advaita was chanting and dancing the whole time.
Advaita was chanting and dancing all the time.
So this was a great blissful occasion for Advaita.
So this was a great blissful occasion for Advaita.
প্রভুর কৃষ্ণ বিরহ প্রেমের উৎকণ্ঠা প্রভুর নাহি কৃষ্ণ সঙ্গ বিরহ বারিল প্রেম জালার তরঙ্গ.
When Advaita Acharya danced in that way, Lord Chaitanya felt ecstatic love for Krishna, and because of his separation, the waves of and flames of love increased.
Now, although Lord Advaita was enjoying the ecstasy of some monk,
Although Lord Advaita was enjoying the ecstasy of Sambhoga,
being present with the Lord,
being present with the Lord,
Lord Chaitanya was feeling the mood of separation from Krishna.
but Lord Chaitanya was feeling the mood of separation from Krishna,
And his separation and ecstasy and separation increased.
and his ecstasy in separation increased.
ব্যাকুল হইয়া প্রভু ভূমিতে পড়িলা গোসাই দেখিয়া আচার্য নিত্য সম্বরিলা
Being agitated by the ecstasy, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu suddenly fell to the ground. Seeing this, Advaita Acharya stopped dancing.
Lord Chaitanya was feeling such intense separation from Krishna that he fell to the ground.
Lord Chaitanya was feeling such separation, intense separation from Krishna, that he fell on the ground.
মুকুন্দের কালোচিত গান কালোচিত গীত গান প্রভুর অন্তর মুকুন্দ জানে ভালো মতে ভাবের সদৃশ্য পদ লাগিলা গাইতে
When Mukunda saw the ecstasy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he understood the feelings of the Lord and began to sing many stanzas, augmenting the force of the Lord's ecstasy.
Mukunda Datta was so expert
Mukunda Datta was so expert
that he knew what to sing which would increase the Lord's ecstasy.
he knew what to sing which will increase the Lord's ecstasy.
আচার্য উঠাইল প্রভুকে করিতে নর্তন পদ শুনি প্রভুর অঙ্গ না যায় ধারণ
Advaita Acharya raised the body of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to help him dance. But the Lord, after hearing the stanzas sung by Mukunda, could not be held due to his bodily symptoms.
While Advaita wanted to help Lord Chaitanya dance,
When Advaita wanted to help Lord Chaitanya to dance,
but Mukunda Datta was singing in such a way that the Lord
but Mukunda Datta was singing in such a way that the Lord
was having greater ecstasy.
was having greater ecstasy.
So Lord Chaitanya couldn't stand up.
So Lord Chaitanya couldn't stand up.
প্রভুর অষ্টসাত্ত্বিক বিকার অশ্রুকম্প পুলক শ্বেদ গদ গদ বচন ক্ষণে ওঠে ক্ষণে পরে ক্ষণেকে রোদন
Tears fell from his eyes, and his whole body trembled. His bodily hair stood on end. He perspired heavily, and his words faltered. Sometimes he stood, sometimes he fell, and sometimes he cried.
তথাহি পদম হা হা প্রাণ প্রিয় সখী কি না হইল মোরে কানু প্রেম বিষে মোর তনু মন জরে
Mukunda sang, "My dear intimate friend, what has not happened to me? Due to the effects of the poison of love for Krishna, my body and mind have been severely afflicted." Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Jai. When Mukunda saw that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was feeling ecstatic pain and manifesting ecstatic bodily symptoms, all due to feelings of separation from Krishna, He sang songs about Srimati Radharani meeting with Krishna. Advaita Acharya also stopped dancing.
বিদ্যাপতির অনুরূপ পদ কি করিব কোথা যাব সোয়াত না হয় পিয়ার লাগিয়া হাম কোন দেশে যাব
How do I do? Where will I go?
What will I do? Where will I go?
No help anywhere.
There is no help anywhere.
Which country should I go to?
Which country should I go to?
It sounds like a Vidyapati.
This song is by Vidyapati.
রাত্রি দিনে পরে মন স্বস্তি না পায় যাহা গেলে কানু পাও তাহা উড়ি যায়
My feeling is like this. My mind burns day and night, and I can get no rest. If there was some place I could go to meet Krishna, I would immediately fly there.
Lord Chaitanya was in the mood of Radharani.
So Lord Chaitanya was in the mood of Radharani.
And Radharani was feeling this separation from Krishna.
Radharani was feeling this separation from Krishna.
And Mukunda Datta sang in this way and increased Lord Chaitanya's transcendental emotions.
So Mukunda Datta sang in this way and it increased Lord Chaitanya's transcendental emotions.
এই পদ গাই মুকুন্দ মধুর সুস্বরে শুনিয়া প্রভুর চিত্ত অন্তরে বিদরে
This stanza was sung by Mukunda in a very sweet voice. But as soon as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu heard this stanza, his mind went to pieces.
And this Krishna internal reason for coming as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
So this is Krishna's internal reason for coming as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
And so realize the ecstasy of the devotees of Krishna.
Is to realize the ecstasy of the devotees of Krishna.
And so being absorbed in this feeling of separation from Krishna,
So being absorbed in these feelings of separation from Krishna,
when Mukunda Datta sang these songs,
when Mukunda Datta sang these songs,
Lord Chaitanya's ecstasy increased manifold.
Lord Chaitanya's ecstasy increased manifold.
মহাপ্রভুর নিত্য আরম্ভ ভক্তগণ দেখি প্রভু পরম হরিষে নৃত্য আরম্ভিলা প্রভু নিজ প্রেম রসে
After meeting the devotee,
After meeting the devotees,
after meeting the devotees,
Lord Chaitanya became so transcendently happy.
Lord Chaitanya became transcendently happy.
He started to dance.
He started to dance.
And the mellows of his own ecstatic love.
In the mellows of his own ecstatic love. Chaitanya Charitamrita.
প্রভুর ভাব নির্বেদে বিষাদ হর্ষ চাপল্য গর্ব দৈন প্রভুর সহিত যুদ্ধ করে ভাব সৈন্য।
The transcendental ecstatic symptoms of disappointment, moroseness, pleasure, restlessness, pride, and humility all began to fight like soldiers within the Lord.
Different ecstatic symptoms of fighting with each other.
So different ecstatic symptoms were fighting with each other.
And one emotion, one sentiment would overpower the other.
One emotion, one sentiment would overflow each other.
The
Another.
explanation is given below.
So the explanation is given below. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Harsha is described in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Harsha is experienced when one finally attains the desired goal of life and consequently becomes very glad. When Harsha is present, the body shivers and one's bodily hairs stand on end. There are perspiration, tears, and an outburst of passion and madness. The mouth becomes swollen and one experiences inertia and illusion. When a person attains his desired object and feels very fortunate, the luster of his body increases. Because of his own qualities and feelings of greatness, he does not care for anyone else. And this is called garva or pride. In this condition, one utters prayers and does not reply to others' inquiries. Looking at one's own body, concealing one's desire, and not heeding the words of others are symptoms of visible in the ecstasy of garva.
So the different ecstasy are competing with each other
So the different ecstasies were competing with each other
inside of Lord Chaitanya.
inside of Lord Chaitanya.
Let's see.
জ্বর জ্বর হইল প্রভু ভাবের প্রহারে ভূমিতে পড়িল শ্বাস নাহিক শরীরে।
The entire body of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu began to totter due to the onslaught of various ecstatic symptoms. As a result, he immediately fell to the ground and his breathing almost stopped.
দেখিয়া চিন্তিত হইলা যত ভক্তগণ আচম্বিতে উঠে প্রভু করিয়া গর্জন।
Upon seeing the condition of the Lord, all the devotees became very anxious. Then suddenly the Lord got up and began to make thundering sounds.
So when the Lord in ecstasy he fainted, then everyone got worried, and so he jumped up and started to loudly chant.
So the Lord in ecstasy fainted, everyone got afraid, then he
Not so suddenly
suddenly jumped up and
started to make loud
thundering sound
loud chanting.
and started to make loud chanting.
Haribo!
Haribo.
Almost like a thundering.
Almost like a thundering.
This ecstasies of Lord Chaitanya are transcendental and no one can understand these.
So this ecstasy of Lord Chaitanya are transcendental and no one can understand this.
If you advance in devotional service, you can, to some extent, you can experience
If you advance in devotional service, to some extent you can experience
what Lord Chaitanya was experiencing ecstasy on the highest level.
But Lord Chaitanya was experiencing the ecstasy of the highest level.
The ecstasy of Radharani is experienced by very few.
The ecstasy of Radharani is experienced by very few.
So, Lord Chaitanya is manifesting these incomparable ecstasies.
So Lord Chaitanya is manifesting this incomparable ecstasy.
I will end here this today.
So we'll end here this today,
And we'll continue tomorrow.
and we will continue tomorrow.
We hope all of you will get yourself off the ground and your ecstatic symptoms.
So we hope all of you will get your
Self off the ground.
self up around when you get ecstatic. Hari Bol. Everyone is getting Guru Maharaj's special Hari Bol blessings.
Krishna, Krishna.
Krishnirmati Rastu.
Do you like our ad-free videos? Be sure to subscribe to our channel. We publish new videos every day, and don't forget to like and share our channel.